The NOCCA Institute is the community nonprofit support organization for NOCCA, the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts, which is the state's arts conservatory for high school students. The school resides in the historic Marigny and Bywater neighborhoods right next to the river and very close to the French Quarter, and is, as of this year, 40 years old. The NOCCA Institute used to be known as the Friends of NOCCA, and it was actually the Friends of NOCCA and its founders that started the school itself back in the early 1970s, led by a woman who was a theater and arts teacher in the Orleans Parish School. She worked with community activists, professional artists, corporate leaders, all who recognized that the great talented young people of New Orleans didn't have any place to go and study their art at a high level. And so NOCCA, with the help of an NEA grant and some free space at the Museum of Art, New Orleans Museum of Art, and the University of New Orleans, they started some visual arts and music classes and found a temporary home in an old crumbling elementary school in uptown New Orleans that was supposed to only be its home for a couple of years, but ended up being the home for closer to 30 years. And then, led by this community organization, the Friends of NOCCA, they managed to put together the resources and the plan to build an amazing state-of-the-art campus. And the governor appointed its own 14-member governing board. The very first thing the first president of the board told me was, this is a public building. It was built with taxpayer dollars, statewide taxpayer dollars. It's a state agency. It needs to be accessible and open to the public as much as possible when it's not housing classes for students. So that's why the Friends of NOCCA recognized that we needed to focus the next decade or so in expanding our programming and providing opportunities for the public, the general public, to come into the facility, to use it, and to enjoy it, because it is a gorgeous facility. While our primary mission of the Institute is to support the school directly, we have recently changed our mission statement to more closely describe the innovative programming and the investment we have made recently in capital expansions in the neighborhood, to more accurately reflect the different types of programming and partnerships that we have just begun. Two of NOCCA's programmatic and educational offerings that have expanded are the addition of an academic program called the Academic Studio, and also the addition of a culinary arts program. The culinary arts program was the idea and brainchild of Emeril Lagasse, Chef Emeril, whom everybody knows, but founded his flagship restaurants here in New Orleans, continues to be a tremendous philanthropist, supports a lot of community and social service programs here in New Orleans. But he had a dream of having a conservatory-level culinary program for high school students.
I think this partnership is unique in a variety of ways. Certainly it starts with some of those people that we've mentioned, Chef Dana that worked for Emeril. It starts with the history of this school and the quality that's produced in the other arts programs. So again, Chef wanted to be associated with quality and excellence. When you take someone of that level that's used to that success, he wants to be around other success. He's not going to invest in something that he doesn't not only believe in, but one that he has confidence in. And I think there's confidence. And I think that's important as you're going out and creating those partnerships. If you're an arts institution and you're looking to find those external partners, they have to have confidence and belief in you, and they have to have trust. It's hard to make a big leap when that doesn't exist. That already existed. And then being able to have folks that you can really feel close to as well strengthens that. So while I think the foundation, our board, and Emeril and all of themselves do have a nice relationship with NOCCA in general, it also narrows down to individual relationships. You know, the executive director here at the Institute, Sally, I think we have a really nice relationship to. Certainly Chef Dana and her team. Again, that makes it personal. It makes it very, very deep. Someone that we can call at any time, someone that can call us anytime, someone that we're comfortable with, that they're comfortable with. I think that makes it special as well as the people, and it helps with that confidence.
The Press Street Gardens are a half-acre production facility of vegetables, flowers, and herbs. And they're a project of the NOCCA Institute, the NOCCA Institute being the nonprofit partner of a public high school, NOCCA. And since we're unable to have the public interact with NOCCA because it is a private campus, the gardens serve as a way to actually connect the community to NOCCA. It's an outdoor learning space, and by that I mean we're able to have workshops and public events here which help the public get to know NOCCA and hopefully invest in NOCCA in the future. The gardens are also an outdoor learning space for our students. So they're able to use these gardens in their science instruction, in all of their arts instruction, and in fabulous things like their humanities and English studies. They can study things like the history of sugar and then come out here and actually learn about the growth process of sugarcane. We're also able to create some revenue through the gardens, and that's with event rental and wedding rental, as well as some of our workshops being charged for, and the sale of produce and herbs, which we do every day of the week. And so that's able to support NOCCA and the NOCCA Institute.
Emerald said that if he could do for culinary arts what NOCCA has already done for visual arts and music and creative writing, then he would have considered his investment a success. The partnership with ELF, as we affectionately refer to it, the Emerald Lagasse Foundation, is a true partnership. You know, when adding culinary arts into NOCCA's programming obviously opened up some new doors for support, food, and opening an academic studio opened up new opportunities of corporate support and additional grant support when you're adding science and technology and math to the program. The STEAM, as we like to call it, developed our partnership with Chevron in a really big way. You know, sometimes it's challenging when you're offered the opportunity to partner with nonprofits, with companies, with individual artists, and we get calls virtually every day. I have a great project for your students. We have a great project for the Institute. It would be a great partnership. And a partnership with a nonprofit, with a corporation, with another foundation has to be, in our opinion, a true partnership. There has to be value for both sides. There has to be meaningful communication. There has to be a genuine approach to programs and strategies that are developed. And the Emerald Lagasse Foundation and Chevron, one being a nonprofit foundation, the other being a huge international corporation, both embody what in my mind are the true ideal partnerships.
Chevron does take a hands-on approach to partnerships. NOCCA is one of our strategic partners, and there are many reasons for this. We, even with an organization like NOCCA, where you know that if you give them a task, it's something that they are definitely going to do to the fullest. We feel like sponsorship should be more than just giving a check. You as the funder should want to get involved with the organization and actually know kind of day to day what's going on there. The partners that we have that are strategic partners that we invest in, we really believe in the mission of what they do. And when we go out and we talk to people in the community about those organizations, we can speak so passionately about it because they are something that we are truly vested in, not just vested financially, but also with human capital. We try to engage employees where possible. We try to kind of leverage other partnerships that we have and make sure that there is some type of cross-pollination of partners. For example, here in New Orleans, we also support the French Quarter Festival. We've worked with both NOCCA and French Quarter Festival to have students perform at that festival, since that's, of course, something that their students do day to day. We have a STEAM zone at the French Quarter Festival, so we've reached out to some of our other education partners to have various exhibits at the STEAM zone and really try to make sure that partners don't sit in silos. Just like in the real world, when you go to work, you don't sit just by yourself in a silo. And so we try to encourage that same cross-pollination and collaboration and work relationship amongst the various Chevron partners?
Chevron has been a long-time supporter of NOCCA. I think primarily because they believe in the arts and all of the communities where they have offices and work and serve. They support all of the professional arts organizations, and they know that NOCCA students are training to become the workforce in the arts and culture field. However, when NOCCA spent a couple of years and wanted to spend time and money in doing research and development into adding an academic program, and not just any academic program, an academic program that took the successful arts pedagogy that NOCCA has used for 40 years and infused that into an academic program. And Chevron was the first to step up to the plate and said, this is exactly what we're interested in. We believe in high quality education. We believe in STEM, and we love turning STEM into STEAM, which is adding arts into science, technology, and math education. And they were the first ones to support the research and development to make sure that we had every opportunity to get this academic curriculum design right. And so when they became a partner in the research and development with their funding, they also became the perfect partner in bringing their resources and their areas of expertise and their scientists and their engineers into contributing not only to the curriculum design, but into offering opportunities for our students to see what careers in the sciences were like. And I think the most important thing is that Chevron recognizes that the qualities and the skill set that NOCCA students leave here with and go on to college with are the exact same qualities, those 21st century skills that we always hear about. It's exactly what their industry is looking for. Most NOCCA students, no matter whether they become professional artists, they become architects, they become engineers, they become doctors, they all have this incredible ability to be creative problem solvers, innovative thinkers, and participate in teams and group work that are highly desired skills of pretty much every industry today. So when Chevron recognized that that was what was happening at NOCCA, they became more than just a funder who writes a check. Making a decision to enter into a partnership with a community organization or a corporation in the city that you live in, there are many things to take into consideration. And we all know that sometimes we enter into relationships and partnerships that we have to, whether we think it will be mutually beneficial or not. That's just the way it goes.
If it feels like their intentions are right, and it fits within the mission, I'm inclined to say yes. If the problem that I guess I usually see in those sorts of partnerships is that they are a little too eager, or they have expectations that are a little too high. I'm one of those people that I prefer to set the bar a little low and exceed it, especially for the first time out. And then second time around, then we can adjust and we can set stronger goals, or adjust the program entirely, however that works out. One of the secrets to making sure that the partnership is a good fit is, before you enter into it, have really clear ideas of an action plan, who's responsible for what sort of goals are you working toward together, and those sorts of things.
Recognizing the common issues around stakeholders of both organizations, I think provides more opportunity for partnerships to be long-lasting and to have a deeper meaning for both organizations. Discovering the areas where your missions connect and cross over, and that is often in ways that are least expected. When you're looking at Chevron, a big oil and gas company, and realizing that their desire to hire employees who are great at building teams, and when you look at NOCCA, whose one of the hallmarks of NOCCA's curriculum is collaboration and ensemble, and putting together the right team, whether it's in a dramatic production or whether it's doing a science project. I think that when you really explore and do a deeper dive into how your missions interact and collide is what makes a partnership have the better opportunity and the better chance of being long-lived and meaningful.